creating a summer heat look by playing with filters and gradients in Photoshop. So click on New File, Default Size, Create. For the purpose of what we're doing today, we're going to have a black background. So I think the easiest is just to choose the rectangle, and then you can drag it around your canvas and make it black. There are other options, but that's one of them. Your rectangle may look like an ellipse tool, but if you right click, there'll be other shape options there. So once you have the rectangle, click the move tool to make it not move anymore, and then it will be your background color. So I'm going to come in here, add my example. Okay. So first things first, we're going to add a layer of text. So I'm going to click this little plus sign to add a new layer here, and then the T to type. So again, click once, some text will pop up. It'll be Latin, that's okay. We're just going to type over it, okay? So you don't try to highlight it or anything, just leave it, and then you can type in what you want to. So we're going to type in summer, because this is going to be a summer one. And then your move tool to make it where it should be. Okay, so when my summer thing is here on the font, if I'm on the layer with the font, I can still come in here and change the type of font. I chose Chalk Duster because I think it looks kind of like heat. You can change the size, you can change the color. So set your font to be what you want it to be. Okay, so now that we have a font in, we can go in and change and play with some of these filter options that are in Photoshop. Some of them have limitations, and so one of the things we're going to do is to kind of trick it. So we're going to move the image, rotate it to the right. So we're going to do clockwise for this. So go into image rotation, and choose clockwise, and that will make it flip to its side. Okay, once it's clockwise, then we can play with some of our filters. So we're going to go in here, and the one I want to use is under Stylize, but there are a lot of filters that are just preset things Photoshop does to make images or fonts appear certain ways. So in Stylize, choose Wind, and it will add kind of a wind look to the font. So make sure the direction says from the left, because we want our wind to look like it's blowing the summer heat off of it. So we'll hit OK, and you may notice a slight wind kind of coming off of the letters, but we'll need to do it again and again to make that really take shape. So go into filter, and luckily the most recent one you used should be at the top. So you can just click wind again, okay, filter wind, okay. And the more you do it, the more it should look like there's wind coming off of these letters. So I'm just gonna do it till it looks right to me. Some of the other options, if you go into Stylize, there is diffuse, which kind of breaks up the lines so they don't look so neat and orderly, kind of like heat does when it's rising. There is also, you can emboss it and do different other things to it too. Okay, so we have our summer words. They look like the heat is coming off of them. In a minute, we're going to change the color and then flip it back to the correct direction, okay? So under Adjustments, which is this middle tab, you have a lot of options. So you have brightness, you can make things black and white, you can just change the way that the photos look. And one of them is the gradient map. So if you click into gradient, then you'll see in this arrow here, right here, a lot of different gradient options. So you'll have blues, purples, pinks, cloud looking things. It's up to you. So I'm going to go into the oranges or the reds and pick out one that to me looks kind of like fire. Okay, like this one's pretty good, but basically you want it to look like your image is on fire, like it's heat, like it's summer. Okay, so you'll pick out the color option that you like. You can reverse it here too if that appeals to you. Okay, so once we are finished with that, we're pretty much done. The last thing we need to do is to flatten all this together so it becomes one thing, and then when we rotate it, it'll all stay together like it's supposed to. So if we right click on one of our layers and we come down here, there should be an option, scroll down, to flatten the image. And that will take all of your layers and flatten them together. And I'm going to unlock this because we still have to rotate it. So we have now a flattened layer. We can come up here to image rotation, and we're going to go counterclockwise this time to go back to the beginning.